Oh, yes, another artisan knife. Now, this one I kind of have mixed feelings for, only because it's so damn weird, but in a good way. So let's go ahead and let's get into it, everybody. Let's talk blades, because that's what we're into today. And oh, as a side note, I'm noticing that I'm getting more subscribers, and this is a great, great thing, and I cannot be more thankful for that. I'm trying to keep this channel as simple as possible, and I thank you all for the support. I thank you all for tuning in, and I thank you all for subscribing. That warms my heart. You have no idea. And I don't really check it on a day-to-day basis. I probably check it maybe, a couple times a week, because I do work a full-time job. So I do this as a hobby. I don't do this to try and make any money off of it or any type of profit. What I'm trying to do is just what I love doing, and I love showcasing my knives. I love sharing them, and on top of that, I never really knew about this being a subject on YouTube until maybe just a couple years ago. And then I started watching videos, and I was like, man, I could do this. I could do this too. I know a lot about knives. I don't know everything, but I could do this too. And then it took just a simple push to go in that direction. So now I'm doing this, and I love doing it, and I'm going to continue doing it for you guys. And I cannot express how warm my feelings are for those who are tuning in and subscribing to me. I mean, that's great. That's fantastic. So thank you, all of you. You guys are awesome. Anyways, let's get down to the knife. That's what you guys are here to watch, not me rant about any type of cupcakes type. Blah, blah, blah. Artisan Cutlery. Yeah, so when I got this, unfortunately the box was crushed, but the knife was a-okay. I don't know what or why the box was crushed. I mean, this is pretty hard. You guys saw the shark box, right? The Artisan Cutlery shark. Anyways, the box on this one was smashed. It was weird. It's like, but I mean, it was just, it wasn't smashed bad, obviously, but it was just enough to where I can't put it on the channel. It just looks really nasty. Anyways, Artisan Cutlery. I was able to get the knife out and check on the knife. The bag's fine. Nothing was ripped, torn, or broken, other than the box itself. Even this little silica pack, the little tactical silica pack that I love talking about, also survived. So I could use that in an emergency scenario. That silica stuff, man, is really useful to use against your enemies. Anyways, so Artisan Cutlery specifications. So the model, and I think this is really funny, they don't put the little piece of paper glue thing that they'd usually, slap on there for that model. This is actually printed on this one. It's weird enough. So model ATZ1805P, steel is D2, blade hardness, the Rockwell of 58 to 60 HRC, handle material is G10, structure, ball bearing, so the ceramic ball thing on the pivot, CNC machine that's processed, okay. So that's cool. And then, of course, you got your care and maintenance thing on this, so you know what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and why. Anyways, so let's get back to the knife itself. And it comes in this nice velvet thing. Within the velvet thing is a plastic bag, and within that plastic bag is this said knife. And some more tactical silica, which I ended up taking out of this. So that was a little bit weird. They put 2 packs of little silica balls in there. I don't know why. Anyways, what was really weird about this knife was it was a little bit drenched in oil. It had a little bit of oil on the handle there. I noticed because when I did that, it was just a very like a very shiny shimmer on there, and I had to kind of wipe it off. So here it is. This is the Artisan Knives Waistline is what it's called. I don't know why they call it that. Probably because, the weird tapering kind of shape that this has. I'm a little bit confused about this knife for several reasons. One, this kind of reminds me of the CRKT jumbones and crossbones because of the shape of the handle. Kind of resembles the jumbones and crossbones because of The handle does the same thing, where it widens at the edges. Kind of reminds me of that. Another thing is this weird kind of setup they have with this pocket clip, which it's a deep carry pocket clip, but they turned it into a normal carry on this knife. And I don't know if you guys can see what I'm talking about. I'm pretty sure you guys can, but that is meant to be a... When you see that curve, that is mostly what it's used for, is for a deep carry pocket clip, but they ended up using it as a normal pocket clip type of carry, so that way this doesn't obstruct that, I guess, because, you know, that lanyard hole is a bit small. I don't know if I could fit paracord through there, but you could put something through there, like a string, maybe. Anyways, you got the open construction design on this knife, so it is very easy to clean. The operation on this knife is very, very smooth. The mirror finish on the inside of there, if you can't already tell, it's really, really clean. Very nice. And then, of course, you got the trailing point, kind of. This looks like a filleting knife. Like, at first, from a distance, when I was looking at this, it looked very much like a Tonto design, or one of which I want to say as one of CRKT's designs. One of James Williams' designs, if I got his name right. But it's not. It's a trailing point with a very aggressive, shallow, I want to say very high grind on there. Of course, it's bead blasted, so you got that... it's kind of a tumbled look on there, so it's very... It's not very mirrored, but it looks fine. The price tag on this, it's got the G10 handle scales on there. The price tag on this is, I think it's a $59 or $60 for this one. They have a cheaper one, but I was advised not to purchase that. And then, of course, they had the more expensive one, the $225 one, which I don't really like this model to want to spend that much money on it, so I just kind of broke even with it and did what I could. And the pivot on this is really interesting because this is a pretty large pivot for this knife. It just seems really weird. And of course, the way that it feels in the hand, it feels to me like a jumbones or a... Yeah, it feels like a jumbones. Not really a crossbones, because the crossbones for CRKT is a much smaller knife. But you get a full handle on this. So... The pocket clip kind of creates a bit of a hot spot because of how narrow and small this handle is. But it kind of fills it all in the same way because it just feels a bit small without it, and it would feel way smaller without it. So, you know, waistline, all right. And that upsweep blade is just really, it says slightly swept. This feels very, very aggressive, just, whoosh, you know, really, really curved, in my opinion. You know what it looks like to me? It really looks like somebody who took a steak knife and then sharpened it and continued sharpening it for years until it looked like this. You know, one of those people, I don't know if you know one of those people, but they continuously sharpen the knife to where the body of the knife, what used to be bigger, has shrunken down. That's what it looks like to me a little bit. I can't really see this knife for anything else than self-defense, only because this tip looks really, really fragile. It's got a really wide spine, but it also has that very acute tip on there, and I think that's the only thing that I would fear of breaking would be the tip. Other than that, it's a very interesting knife. I don't prefer it to be any of my favorites. I can tell you that right now. This is not a knife that I would be like, oh yeah, you should totally get it. This is a very weird knife to me. And like I said, there's so many confusing things about this. It's got a deep carry pocket clip that you can switch from left to right, but it's not really deep carry because then you have this much of it sticking out of your pocket at all times. So you got that weird pin / lanyard hole thing. But it's easy to clean. I mean, look at that. You got almost a full construction opening right there. Well, I shouldn't say almost. Damn near full construction opening, so you can clean it out with just some pressurized air or even the cloth or paper towel in there if you really wanted to. The only reason why you would take this apart would be to clean and lube the pivot, but I don't know. Anyways, you got the Artisan Cutlery symbol right there, and it's not engraved, it's more like painted on. Swoop to the back, and you got the D2 and then your serial number on there, and China. So yeah, interesting knife. If I had to choose between this and the Shark, I would probably choose the Shark. This is very odd to me, and I got mixed feelings about it. I like it, but then I kind of just think it's unique, but I don't think it's pretty. I think it has a function. If you want to take this to fillet some fish when you're out fishing, I think this would work very fantastic, because that's what it reminds me of. It reminds me of a filleting knife. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get into the length and the weight of all that good and happy jazz so you guys know. And it is a liner lock. The liner lock operates pretty damn decently, if I do say so myself. What's the centering on that? Okay, yeah, no. It's dead center. I was just a little curious about that because of the blade shape, just kind of threw me off. I don't know. Anyways, go ahead and get into the weight of this. All right, 4.26. That's not bad at all. That's pretty damn good. 4.26 ounces for this bad boy. Not bad. Not bad. That is pretty damn light. And, yeah. The flipper on this is not a very aggressive. I think that's one thing I do like about this knife, is that it's not an aggressive. It sticks out just enough to where you can get to it and open her up. Handle's nice and big, so you can get a decent grip on there no matter how you hold it, and I do, excuse me, I do appreciate that. Excuse me. That LaCroix, man. It's good stuff. I don't know if you guys like LaCroix, but I do. Gets me to drink more water, you know? Instead of a soda, I think I'd choose that before I'd choose a soda. It's a healthier option, I guess. Anyway, so the cutting edge on here is a 3 3/4 cutting edge with an overall 4-inch blade and with a total length of 9 inches. It's pretty damn huge, but it works. And of course, you got a 5-inch handle, so that's pretty long. Not bad. Not very bad at all. I want to see how sharp this is. Artisan Cutlery, they make some good knives, but I don't think their knives are like 100% razor sharp. I shouldn't say that. No, they are razor sharp. They're just not... They're not Spyderco or Cold Steel sharp. All right, there we go. But I guess it all depends on who sharpens it, because the blade's catching a lot easier. All right, so that's not bad. But it is, you can tell that the paper is fraying. You can see the fibers sticking up. So this isn't exactly ridiculously sharp, but so yeah. The edge is workable. Not perfect. And of course the tip is aggressive as hell. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Alright, that's fine. That's okay. A little bit sharper than the Hornet. Oh, man, there it goes. Have my fan on right now. It's warm today, but it's not, like, hot, so I'm trying not to run my AC, you know. I like it. I like it. I don't suggest it as the perfect knife, only because of my mixed feelings about how the placement is on this pocket clip, but blade's definitely pretty nice. Handle feels decent. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get into the width of things, because I think I was about to forget that. I dropped it. Oh, seriously? Oh, yeah, that'd help. All right. And now, so for the handle, you're looking at a 13.8, a little wider, and a 2.1 millimeter on the blade. Of course, it tapers, so just keep that in mind. Final thoughts on this knife. if I could change anything about this knife, it would be this right here. I don't really do too much with lanyard holes, and considering that this is kind of a waste because look at how small that hole is. Hold on, I have some lanyard. I have some lanyard. I have some paracord. Hold on one second. All right, so seriously? Come on. All right, so I got two different kinds of cord here. And I just want to test this out. I just, why not? So here is some 550 paracord, all right? And I'm going to try and, no. So it's not going to go through there. I'm putting it in and it's not going through. All right, so, I mean, you could, if you force it in frayed way first, if you know how to just make that, if you want to melt it into just a very thin kind of pokey, make sure it has like a tip, and then you could probably force this in there and it'll probably fit through. But just doing it the regular way with a normal butted end, you cannot get it in. It won't fit. So it's too big. It won't fit. I know someone's going to make a joke of that in my comment section. That's okay. I welcome it. And then, of course, this is just regular. This is waxed black string or black thong. And yeah, of course, that'll fit just fine, but it's just big enough for this. And the string's not falling out, so it's not a tight fit, but it fits. And I can feel that there's resistance in there, so that's not great. That's not great at all. I'm sure if you had a little bit of leather cord that is about this size for that hole, if not a little bit bigger, it would probably work even still. But this is not as great. So they could have just made this into a smaller pin, got rid of the damn lanyard hole, and then made this into what it was designed for, to be deep carried, and then putting it up at the same level that this thing is in. Of course, aesthetically, I guess that would make the knife less aesthetically pleasing because it does look a little interesting having that kind of pattern to it, I suppose. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. You got a deep carry pocket clip on a knife that's designed not to be deep carried. Why? That was the first kind of eyebrow raised head scratcher right there. And then, of course, on top of that, the overall weirdness of the knife. Yeah. It's not bad. I'm not going to say that I don't like it. Obviously, I do. I just wish that they could have made a couple things just a little bit better on this knife, so I don't know. It's only $5 more than the Shark, $5 and change roughly. If you are into something like this, then I suggest, hey, go ahead. But I was thinking of this being more Oriental. This does not look Oriental to me. This looks more Persian, in my personal opinion. But hey, if you're into that and it doesn't bother you and you like the shape and you like the look, I'd go ahead and get it. But yeah, good thing I didn't pull the trigger on getting the more expensive one. I probably should have gotten the cheaper one, but I was heavily advised not to, so I didn't. But yeah, so I'll probably EDC this and then kind of put the Shark off to the side because the moving pocket clip. Now, one thing they did right on this, look at that. All right, look, you see that? They carved a portion of the handle away so that way the pocket clip can sit flush. Now all they have to do if they want to make all their knives perfect is to make the screws flush with the pocket clip so that way the deep carry, doesn't intrude with the screws, which, I don't think it really does too much, but it would make it that much better if they did that. That'd be the next best thing. Now, why couldn't they do this with the Shark? Or have they, and I just don't know about it? Because, okay, here it is. Here's the freaking shark, all right? I really like this knife. I would have liked it way more if they did this with this, but they didn't. So, I don't know. Maybe there's a more expensive one out there that actually has that design, this design to it. I don't know. Anyways, the Waistline from Artisan Cutlery, they got some good stuff. Don't fear the Chinese market, my friend. They got some decent stuff out there. Anyways, there's that. Go ahead and slash that like button, stab that subscribe, slice that bell icon so that way you guys are notified when I post new stuff. In these craziest of times, be kind, be safe, carry responsibly, and I'll see you guys in the next video.